because I liked paramotor videos. Now I watch them because I like Tucker. And I could say that about a lot of people. I was watching Juju and Tom today. I haven't caught them. I don't know. I watched a lot of them, kind of faded away. And for whatever reason, YouTube was like, hey, check out them. And Tom is looking good. I know you weren't really involved in the conversation, but Tom is looking amazing now.
I scrolled back up and looked at it. He looks tremendous.
He's like
I looked at pictures. He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Huge legs. Like his arms, like you said earlier, his arms aren't that great, but legs are fucking crazy.
We all have our,
core looks good.
Core looks good. His chest he's gifted with the chest. We all have our spots. His buys and tries aren't super big, but I don't know. He was always like almost dad bod dude. He took a picture where there's this Fight Club pose with a cigarette in the mouth, kind of leaning back, and he did the same thing. And he was almost Brad Pitt, right? Like almost. He might have been a little better than Brad Pitt's chest, but maybe overall I just nod to Brad Pitt ever so slightly. And this is Brad perhaps
Pitt's arms, shoulders were a little more developed, and so that gave like the broader appearance. But like as far as you just look at the core section of him, like mid torso, it's like almost a carbon copy. He looks so good.
I think his pecs were better than Brad Pitt's. And anyway, this guy is spitting distance from perhaps the most fuckable character in cinematic history, right?
Yeah.
Like,
the Brad Pitt
Fight Club. Like if you say, what is the ideal male body to a girl? A lot of them will land on that. Brad Pitt Fight Club is almost the cliche answer. Brad Pitt in that old Warrior movie was maybe better. Kyle's going to know it.
Troy.
Achilles?
Troy.
Okay. So, Brad Pitt and Troy was maybe even better. But people get... Anyway, you look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. It is an amazing accomplishment. I don't know. I wrote to Derek. I'm like, was this achievable naturally? Because he mostly just cut fat. I tweeted him. We'll see if he writes back. But you can cut fat with just discipline and exercise and cardio and raise your metabolism.
Cutting fat is in my opinion harder than any exercise or like regimen I've stuck to, because I got down to a certain point myself and I was just like, it's mentally like upsetting, I'm not trying to down Taylor's cut or whatever for his wedding, but it's fucking rough. Like
it's going to be grumpy on his wedding day.
Yeah. Like you get hangry even.
Oh, I know hangry.
Yeah.
You linked Boagrius.
Oh, this is Nathan Jones.
I was thinking about Troy, and I was like, "What's that guy who he fought?" And like, you scroll down a little bit, and this guy is just that picture of him in the jeans. It's like that guy is a monster,
dude. Yeah. I got a funny story about him. Actually,
I would prefer this build to the Brad Pitt build. Just the hulking monster guy.
Would you?
Yes.
God.
I would as well, because he's
I feel like you'd pick up some dudes with this body. Right?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing, but it just depends on your target. Like, look, no doubt, this is a hard thing to achieve, right? This is impressive.
Yeah.
It's just not my personal bullseye.
You want to be more lean and have like a swimmer's body type, kind of like a muscular cut.
Yeah. And don't let me talk too much shit. This isn't my personal bullseye either.
But Woody, you and I have a more boxy, broad build. We can't achieve the Brad Pitt live look. That's not possible.
You got to work with
what you also can't achieve this. But we are closer to that being an ideal in our body type than the Brad Pitt. That's not in the cards.
This guy's traps are outrageous. These are traps.
They're so big in Troy.
He is. I remember watching that scene for the first time, and I was like, "God damn it, Brad Pitt's going to kill this guy." But like in my ideal world, they would run to the middle and then become friends, and then he could fight with Agri. But like that wouldn't work for the movie, because it'd be like, well, you see in every scene, the 6'10" guy just makes Brad look like a little bitch. Like,
it's that's a pretty good movie. I like Brad Pitt's in a tent with like at least 2 women. I think it was 2, maybe 3, and like he's late to the battle, and they send a boy to go get him, and the boy is like, they need you at the battle. They've got a man that you're supposed to fight. And he's like, okay. He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him. And Brad Pitt's cold as fuck. He's just like, and that is why no one will remember your name. He like puts his helmet on, gets on his horse.
To a child. He's just told
To a child.
11. I wouldn't want to fight him, master. And that's why no one will remember you. I just was trying to get you, battle. Just trying to get you for the battle. I'm British now.
It's like, woke up on time. Jeez.
And then he's like hung over, and then he just goes and fucks him up with that jump, and then like clavicle stab.
Yeah, all the way down to like his heart. Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's like, Boagrius worked so hard for his physique, and it's like, and it's funny that the other side, Agamemnon or whatever his name,
that's who it is.
It's like, all right, well, we outnumber them, but we agreed, and so we. It's like, no, they just be like, they killed Boagrius! Charge! That would be like nobody.
Would they though? Because like maybe if you're on the other side, you're thinking that like, are they all like that guy? Like he might be the best of them, but how much better is he than the average guy over there?
Well, clearly fucking not. They had to send a boy to get the rest of them were like that. They send another fucking bloke out there and fight him. No, we're not obeying this.
But they're not all like Boagrius.
Got to get back to my chimney sweep job.
Boagrius wasn't even their best. Their best was the bearded dude, right? Maybe.
No, Boagrius was their best.
Who was?
I think you're talking about Ajax, who was on Achilles' side. So Ajax, Odysseus, and Achilles were all working together. And so like that was the lore. It's like Ajax was known to have like superhuman strength. He had his shield and his lion mane headdress or whatever. And I think he had a spear instead of a sword. And he just
Boagrius was the best from that army, from that country.
Yeah, Agamemnon's army.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. It's not bad at all. I can't think of that chick who is Helen, but she's smoking hot and she gets topless. That's always appreciated.
She does.
And Legolas, he's over there. He's the cause of all this.
He does cause problems in that film.
He does. He's the cause of all of that war.
That might have been one of his first big roles after Lord of the Rings.
Was it after Lord of the Rings? I did.
Yeah, definitely. 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, that was right when, because Lord of the Rings: Return of the King came out in 2003, I think. And so
yeah, or 2004 maybe.
I'm thinking
somewhere
of
in there.
Hector, I think.
Yeah, Hector is played by.
Came out in 2003. I know my Lord of the Rings.
Hector's the Prince of Troy.
Yeah, and he seemed like he was the best fighter that they had. To me,
sure. Yeah.
Not Boagrius.
Yeah. Hector was their legendary guy, but he was fearful of Achilles because of all.
Rightfully so. I love that when they're having their fight there, toward the end, and Hector's like, "Let's make a deal. The loser will be given full burial rights," and Achilles is like, "Tonight you'll go to hell with no eyes and no tongue, and you'll wander the underworld deaf and blind and dumb." And he's like, "Well, okay, I guess that's a no then, huh?"
Everyone, he's afraid. I'm coming.
It's like the opposite of afraid.
Just hoofing it back to the gates.
What if he
That's
ran?
a good movie. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long, long time. I think I've only seen it once or twice, but it's great. And Brad Pitt's, that's his top physique. That's his best physique ever.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what else I want to rewatch is Gladiator. I don't think I've seen Gladiator in 15 years.
Father to
It's
a
been
murdered son,
forever.
husband to a murdered wife, and I shall have my revenge in this life or the next.
What was that monologue that Joaquin Phoenix actually did a good job on in that movie? I say actually as though he's not a good actor. He is. But when his father was talking about all the ways that he disappoints him because he doesn't have loyalty. He doesn't have integrity. He doesn't have honor. And he's like, but I have other traits, father. Ambition. And like talks about how all his traits have to be acquiring as much power and cementing as much authority as possible.
That's actually a really good scene. Yeah, you're right. I'd forgotten about that.
Really good one.
Joaquin's awesome. He's good in everything he's ever done. I don't know did you ever see that movie? It might be called He Was Never Really There or something like that. It's where he's like
that is a rough fucking movie, and
it is.
Man, he kills it.
He's like a fixer, like he's the guy, the bounty hunter. He's kind of a bounty hunter, and like, but he works for a bounty hunter as like the guy who actually goes out and like gets people. And it seemed like there was like a missing girl, and he was like there to like save her from like a pedophile ring, and his weapon of choice is a hammer.
He just goes in, balls to the wall, because the subplot's kind of like he hates himself. Doesn't want anybody else to like be like that. Man, it's fantastic. I think it's his best role out of everything I've seen him in, even better than Joker.
The body transformation is pretty cool. He doesn't get like
which movie?
like he packed on Joaquin Phoenix.
The movie.
He was never really here. Or yeah.
Thanks.
He is so big and bulky in that, and that's only like maybe 2 years before Joker, maybe a year before Joker, as far as filming goes. I don't know.
Oh, in a fat way though.
Yeah, he puts on a bunch of fat, but a lot of muscle too. Like he just gets big. Like he's certainly not like action star looking, but he's just like big and intimidating looking.
He's the kind of big, wide guy where you'd be like, he's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not going to win any competitions, but he looks like he could. He looks like farm boy strong.
He looks very powerful, and he just walks headlong into like multiple gangsters with a hammer. And at no point did I think, oh, that's unrealistic. It's like, dude, he just ran up to him with a hammer and went to work. Like, what are they gonna do? Like,
dude, if someone runs at me with a hammer, even if I'm armed and I see them 6 feet away, I'm like, ah!
It's a 21-foot rule.
Struck with a hammer.
It's a 21-foot rule. You let somebody. It doesn't matter. You got your gun holstered. They're within 21 feet. You're dead. You're dead.
I wonder if that's true. You think that's true?
Yeah, I think it's true. Unless you're some kind of a fucking sharpshooter or like a quick draw specialist. I don't know how quickly I can draw a pistol and shoot someone.
But if your hand's already on the gun, right? Your hand's on the gun. You're conscious of the threats, right? So you're just everything but having out of the holster. 21 feet. I've always suspected that was kind of a cop.
Is a matter
like, you know, like, he was within 21 feet. That's the distance at which we think it's okay to shoot. Yeah, you gave yourself a lot of leeway here. You think
it's like six big steps. He's on you so fast if he's running.
It's a matter of seconds. Yeah,
it might be. It's less than 2 seconds, I think.
Mm-hmm. If he's sprinting at you with a hammer, doing a war chant,
and you got to draw and not only fire, but fire accurate enough so the first shot does something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if you miss him with the first and the second shot? And you might, because he's running at you with a hammer. Like, I would not want to. There's a great scene in that TV show Justified where, like, the whole like throughout a whole season, one of the main characters who's like that season's bad guy is talking about the 21-foot rule. He's got a big Bowie knife, and he's always talking about, yeah, you want to test it out? How about I step over there and you step over there and we see how it works. And the guy be like, yeah, let's do it. And as the guy stands up, he just starts stabbing him to death. Like, you know, he's not going to do that with you. But then at the end, like, it actually comes down to it, like with a guy who has a gun. But fortunately, it's the main character of the show, who's played by Timothy Oliphant. You know, the same guy who was in that episode of the Mandalorian. He was the local sheriff wearing the Mando armor. And that whole show is about him being like a modern day cowboy and being happy to quick draw with somebody if they're down, but with a Glock. And they go to do the quick draw thing, but the guy doesn't know that there's like a fucking grave right in front of him, and he goes to run at it with a knife and falls right into a hole, and the knife goes through his own throat and he kills himself accidentally. It's a build up and then just comic relief because like the guy kills himself.
That sounds so stupid.
It's a good show, man. Justified's fun.